fans. Came out this way, had to explain. Direct from Domingo. Kelsey's a friend, she's like my sis, but we did hook up though.
What? Well, why would you guys tell me this through song?
I hope we can still be friends.
Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll. Everybody come see the greatest show. Gather up all juggalos and roll.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Blake and Sal Show with Mark. For over 10 years, dominating the podcast world. Now sit back, relax, and get ready to have some fun. Let's welcome your hosts, Blake, Sal, and Mark.
New York, cruise up the city. Who rule this madness?
Poppers at midnight. There's a gathering after dark in Van Cortlandt Park. Hey, poppers. Cyrus needs 5 boroughs to see this through. This means you. Hey, poppers. The truth is on. No weapons but your fists. She insists. Hey, poppers. Keep your radio tuned tight. I'm just right, and you just might survive the night. Come out to play, survive the armies of the night. Come out to play,
Hello and welcome live to the Blake and Sal Show with Mark, episode number 531. I am one of your hosts, Blake, and come on, if you know me, you knew there was no way I was going to spend the entire weekend obsessed with this album and not open the show with it. There was no way. I'll get to that in a minute, though. All right, let's bring on my co-host. First of all, the man who literally walked away from us right before we went live, because we're not Fortnite characters. Sal, how you doing? You can see podcasting. Sal, how you doing?
I'm tired, but I'm good.
You know what? During the club, I literally fell asleep at a work stop this week. I fell asleep like, you know, I'm done. I'm going home. I'm cutting off my day. I'm going my day early. I'm done. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I wish I had that option.
I know. Looking at my schedule, it's very flexible. I could do something like that. But anyway, let's bring on our other co-host, a man who's literally wearing sunglasses, staring at the screen because, well, I'll explain more about that later. But Sal, he's in the wrong place. We found out a little while ago he should be at the Pfizer Forum right now. You know why? Steve Wonder is currently at the Pfizer Forum. He should be there. But no, he's sitting here with us with sunglasses on the show. The man, Mr. Legend Mark, Dad, how you doing?
I just called to say I love you.
Yeah, you spoiled the end of the show. So, before we introduce our guest, I guess I should say what the hell song is playing in the background. Over the weekend, Lin-Manuel Miranda released a brand new concept album called The Warriors, based on the movie The Warriors. And this is the opening song called Survive the Night, with such rappers like Nas, Ghostface Killah, Busta Rhymes, etc., etc., etc. It's a crazy, crazy album, a crazy, crazy song. I had to open with it. I've been obsessed with it since it dropped on Friday morning. I'm obsessed with this album. So it's completely fucked up my Spotify algorithm. Like, completely fucked it up. But I absolutely am in love with this album. So I had to open with it. And if you're listening, don't expect more of this before the end of the year. Just being honest with you. Just being honest right now. So turn that off. Okay, go. So we do have a guest on the line, but Sal, we've been doing new things with our guests. And as the people here, we had a brand new intro video.
Yeah.
And I had to do something new. We have a guest, so we have to do video.
I knew this was going to be the best part of being on your show. Because when I'm on your show, I just let loose. Good God, that might be the worst thing about not just Punk, but anyone.
Axiom equals scrumptious man candy. And
well, they had a Who's Your Daddy match. where
I had way too much fun playing together. From the PW George Kelly. Well, welcome to the show.
that's a lot of pressure to outdo all those moments that I had. I get spastic on this show. Their bonus guest, my daughter. She's just going to be playing the Switch behind me there. Yeah, a little spastic. So I look forward to having a reason. I don't know if I've got any reason to be surly, but I always find it somehow. So let's figure it out.
Well, yeah, welcome to the video version of this show because we have things I've upgraded around here.
Nice.
I got new toys, so I decided to upgrade things a little bit, have some fun. Besides the fact, I'm not gonna lie, and I said this to Sal earlier. It's been a really stressful work week. So doing stuff for this show was relaxing for me. So like doing videos and stuff like that for this show was very relaxing and cathartic for me. So look forward to it. And the bell just went off in the background, apparently.
Yeah.
Live podcasting, people. Live podcasting.
That was nice.
All right, we're not going to waste a lot of time today.
I think my Amazon delivery is here.
Oh, good. Well, okay, cool.
Ooh.
You want to go take care of that?
What'd you get? What'd you get?
Anyway, all right. Let's get into the show. Let's get our plug stuff out of the way first. First of all, go pick up Mandy's book. I Know I Am, available at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Orange Publishing in English and in Spanish.
Them kids. Fuck them kids.
Thank you.
So that is that. Let's actually now go to back from the top of my screen here and take that off. Let's go to let Kelly get his plugs in right away.
Yeah, my name is Kelly Wells. Oh hell, look at that. This is so much more. I should be wearing a tie. This is really impressive. There, so I do the 7-Star podcast. That is a New Japan podcast that we do as news needs, and there's been big news in New Japan as of late. NXT 8 years back. We talk about NXT 8 years back, and we talk a lot about movies. If you want to hear me get surly about movies, that's the one. And that is PWT Talks NXT. Nate Lindbergh and I talk NXT every Wednesday night. That's the modern show. And then I also end up showing up quite a bit on Raw and SmackDown post shows, pay-per-view post shows, that kind of thing. I'm all over the torch.
So there you go. We're not going to waste a whole lot of time here because Kelly told me he's got stuff going on his end. I'm exhausted. Sal's exhausted. And Dad probably shouldn't be looking at the screen so much with a torn cornea. So let's get into things. By the way, yeah, that's the problem. He has a torn cornea. That's why he's wearing sunglasses, staring at a computer screen right now.
Deep scratch on my right eye. And of course, that's my dominant eye. So
from urgent. I was actually at urgent care with him. Not urgent care. I was at the eye appointment with him. But
why don't you have an eye patch like a pirate?
He's wearing a lens, like a protective lens over his eye.
I have like a bandage contact lens over my real lens.
But it's Halloween. You could have very easily gotten an eye patch.
That's next week's show. Sal.
I just kind of wanted to
But I won't be here.
I know that. I'm sorry.
Give tribute to musicians that have visual impairments.
But I won't be. I'm not going to be here next week. I'll be trick or treating at the hospital.
All right, I'm gonna hit this.
And now let's get into the crazy world of professional wrestling.
All right, before we get into the PLE we're here to talk about, let's actually talk about some of the news. And Kelly did bring up over in New Japan that we had a massive title change happen. And it is Zack Sabre Jr. is the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He beat Hendry over the weekend. Kelly, I'll throw right to you. The big deal about this title change, especially because the G1 winner won and not at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, Zack was my favorite wrestler who had never won a world championship potentially, and now I'm going to have to find a new one because he done won a world championship. Yeah, he was doing they didn't do a come from behind thing at the G1. He really was dominant there. He went 7-2. And Naito was kind of lame duck in that. He was out of it by the last night. And Naito, it's been probably 5 years since he was truly elite, but it's definitely been like a year or two since he was even much good at all. He had a couple of really good matches at the end of last year's G1, which he won, but he's been really slipping. I don't know if his body's just giving out on him or if he just doesn't have the heart for it anymore, but it's been time to move on from him for a while. So when they fast tracked Zack's title shot, I actually thought this was probably going to be the change. I was not surprised to see this. And thankfully, Naito really, really showed up for this match. It was his best match probably since those couple of matches last year. Although he actually had a pretty decent match with Great O'Khan the week before that was better than like all of his matches in the G1. So I think we've probably seen Naito's last hurrah. And now we can focus on which of the young guys, and I think it'll be one of the young guys who gets a shot at Zack at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, I was actually intrigued, but now, like, what do we do now? Like, what do we do now? we have a new champion, and we have only a couple months to set things up, which I actually like the fact that it's very truncated. You know, it's something different. We haven't done this before, and I like this a lot.
So who's up and coming that would be good for Zack Sabre?
So a lot of guys are up and coming. The challenge is we don't know when those guys are going to get their big pushes. So after that match, no less than 3 different guys showed up to stake their claim for a championship match. Sonata, who got one at Royal Quest, Shota Umino, and who am I forgetting?
Was it Shingo?
Yeah. It was Shingo.
I watched it too. So I remember I watched it.
Yeah, I watch every New Japan show, and I couldn't remember.
I watched this show too. I'm like, I know I watched this.
Yeah. And Shingo is that guy, and Shingo is maybe the best wrestler in the world, and he can go in there with Zack, and they can just have, they can make magic together. So that it might be Shingo. So he's not a young up and comer at all. Because he is, I believe, north of 40 now. But as for the young guys, we got Yota Tsuji, who right now of the young guys is the one who's really standing out. Shota Umino, of course, Ren Narita, and Yuya Uemura, although he's out with injuries. And so that's pretty much the heavyweights. And then we got Ryohei Oiwa in there as well. Although they'll probably take their time with him because he just got called up.
I guess about who would you put in the matchup? Who would you do it personally?
Who would I do against Zack at Wrestle Kingdom?
Yeah,
probably Shingo.
Shingo. I'm between Shingo and not and Shota Umino personally. So I'm just curious. You know.
Yep.
So all right. Before we get to NXT stuff, we do have another pay-per-view happening this weekend. We're not going to do a full review of it because I'm the only one watching the show. But so we're not going to do that. But we do have a quota on the show we haven't met in a few weeks. And it is the main event of Bound for Glory. So it's got to be brought up for a couple of minutes here.
His name and he appears.
Big Nemeth versus Joe Hendry in the main event of Bound for Glory this weekend. Here's the funny part is, I was going to order this show anyway. For this Bound for Glory, and I've been watching the company since January, so I've been invested in the stories and everything. I was going to watch this show anyway. All of a sudden, Mandy looks at me the other night. She's like, "Are you ordering Bound for Glory?" I'm like, "Are we ordering Bound for Glory?" I'm like, "I was." She's like, "Well, good. I want to watch Joe Hendry."
Okay.
I'm like, "Okay then."
That is her number one wrestling
in TNA
thing right now.
TNA. But like, I'm looking forward to this match. I'm looking forward to this show. And I just want to say right here, I expect Joe Hendry to win the title. Because I expect him to show up in the Rumble wearing the title. That's what I kind of expect to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kelly, you've been watching Joe Hendry on NXT. I know you're not in the bandwagon as much as a lot of us are. What are your thoughts on all this?
Yeah, I like him fine. He's apparently a really creative guy, a smart guy, and he's a really good self-promoter. I mean, those things are all more important than anything. And as a wrestler, he's fine. He's no frills, but he's fine. But yeah, I like him, but I didn't catch the fever quite like the NXT crowd did, but it's awesome to see. It's awesome to watch, whether I'm not fully on board or not. And I think I could get there, but really when that train was getting going, he lost that match at, I still want to call these shows takeovers, but whatever PLE it was. And then he was off TV. His story arc had ended. They didn't even mention him really since then. And the last couple weeks on NXT, they've had no TNA talent at all. So
they've had NXT talent on TNA. They've had people
right. So I guess they have been like, okay, we don't have a lot of time to spare because we've got Halloween Havoc to work toward. So perhaps right after Havoc, they'll have somebody show up. They could even do it at Havoc, but they're going to have plenty going on there with the matches they've got. And
if there's ever
working in,
by the way, that shows up at Havoc, Kelly, it's going to end up being something like a Rosemary and Wendy Chu because they're tagging together over in TNA. So they're going to have a team show up. It's going to be them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's going to happen at Havoc. So
and they've teamed on NXT as well.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
They're teaming on Glory this weekend. So that's the thing going on over there. Sal, you've been on the outside of this, but you know the obsession with Joe Hendry. Do you think he's going to title on Saturday night?
I feel like this would be a good opportunity to finally do it, considering, like it was mentioned, he had the other shot in NXT and lost it, and then I feel like he did kind of lose a little bit of steam. So this would be a good opportunity for him to regain that steam that he lost. And yeah, it would be great to see him show up at the Rumble with the TNA title. That'd be kind of
Jordan
cool.
Grace last year. Like Jordan Grace last year. That's what my mentality is. It's happened before. We've done it twice with the women. Why can't we do it once with the men? And the crowd's going to go nuts with Joe Hendry's music hits. So, Dan, what do you think about this title change on Saturday night?
I think he's going to take it. He's going to be the new champion. And watching him from when he first burst on the scene, when I saw him Ring of Honor, to where he is now, and how his character, I shouldn't say character, how he's basically got himself over with the crowds and big pops, I think is amazing. And if you put the belt on him, that's going to give him even a bigger crowd to work with and bigger pops. And I think if you don't put the belt on him, you're doing a disservice to your company.
Fair enough. All right, before we get to NXT stuff, I do just remembered I have a question here that I got a text message about this morning, and I wanted to bring it to the show. Let me bring it up here. And this is what it was. It was, out of 10, what would you rank if the Cody Rhodes WWE Championship title reign right so far during November and here in October? So that's a good question. And
Cody Rhodes.
Sal, I'll start with you.
Fuck Cody Rhodes.
What do you think, Sal?
Snooze fest. Can I say that? Is that out of 10?
Give me a number. What is that? Snooze fest?
Snooze fest. I mean,
5, 6.
No, I would say like a 3-4.
Ooh.
I mean, granted, I haven't watched a lot lately, because
you haven't missed much. I haven't missed a whole lot of.
But I mean, at least when I wasn't watching when Roman Reigns was champion, I still knew what was going on, and the promos were all over the internet, and he was doing his thing, and I'm just not really seeing that now.
What's interesting, I said about between a 5 and a 6 personally, he hasn't had a feud. He hasn't had a real feud besides Solo, and I don't even count that because his bloodline for has been going on forever. So I don't even count that. So like the first real feud he's had is right now with KO. They're just starting that, and I feel like it's like he hasn't defended the title that much either lately because he's like, I'm in a tag match with Roman, and now I'm in this weird stupid match at Crown Jewel against Gunther for some stupid reason, and like for a title that's a immediately thing. So I'm between a 5 and a 6 personally. Kelly, what do you think?
Would have been between 6 and 7, I guess. I like the work that he's doing. But yeah, he hasn't had much to sink his teeth into. And I get it. They want to do slow burns with world champions. They want to really make it mean something when somebody even gets a chance to challenge for the championship. And I think that's cool. Yeah, this Gunther thing is really kind of sucking the air out of it. But Riyadh wanted a championship. They had always said that they want a championship that is specific to their shows. The last thing they need is another championship, and it's just a championship that is an extension of another one. So it's just,
and it's so big and gaudy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
gaudy.
It's right with like those shows are. So it's, I don't know. I think every year it is going to suck the air out of both championship reigns because they have to stop what they're doing and pretend that there's some kind of feud going on with a person whose show they're not even on. But I'm very, very bullish on what could come out of this Kevin Owens thing, because what's interesting is the Owens character is right to be pissed off about all these things.
Mm-hmm.
100% agree. Mm-hmm.
So that could make for a really cool gray area and muddy waters.
What's fun about the KO thing is that he's feuding with Cody. He went after Orton for siding with Cody, and now I guarantee we're going to have another freaking Sami Zayn KO thing because Sami Zayn's going to probably line up with the bloodline again, and that's going to piss off KO more. Even more. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be fun. But that's Cody. Dad, what do you think?
I would have to go and agree with Kelly. It's between a 7 and 8. And I think you get started on the storyline with Kevin Owens, and then all of a sudden it gets derailed because of Crown Jewel against Gunther. Here's the thing. For everything that's going on, I think you're giving more attention to Gunther than you are to Cody about this. And for what? A belt that basically is going to stay where it is. You can't take it. You can't display it. You can't wear it around. It's just for show over there. My thing is, instead of a freaking belt, why don't you have a cup? A trophy.
Whatever happened to that? What was that championship? I think Shane McMahon won with like the world greatest championship trophy thing. What the fuck was that? That stupid thing that happened.
Yeah, I mean, instead of making this ostentatious belt that basically
best in the world,
the best in the world, the best in the world trophy.
You're gonna bring out the belt to display, and it's gonna go back in its case. It's gonna be in some safe back in Saudi Arabia.
The greatest Royal Rumble. What happened to that? What happened to that thing?
So yeah, give him a trophy here. Basically, give him a medal. I don't care. Give them something that they can take away from this, except the memories. So that's where I stand with that. This whole situation is just giving more fuel for KO in the future.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that is that. Let's go back to what I wanted to go back to NXT. Before we get to the Halloween Havoc, we did have a big debut right at the end of the show, and that is Delta, now known as Zarya. I think Zarya? Is that how it's pronounced, Kelly?
They haven't said it aloud, but I'm going with Zarya until they tell me differently.
So Zarya debuted right at the end of NXT. They have to work on these endings because I think they're not used to not having an overrun yet. Overrun the CW. They're not used to having an overrun. And because they have this amazing debut, and then we're gone before Vic can even say anything. We're gone. We didn't even have a chance to do anything. So here's a big sentence when they went off the air, but it was absolutely hysterical.
It was very Monday Night Raw,
right?
Yeah, and if you look at what like this generation's Bull Nakano.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of. The first thing I thought of was like the next generation Bull Nakano. That's a compliment. That's actually a compliment to the look. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah.
You look at the picture and it's like, I'm here to kick ass, and I don't care whose ass I kick.
Pretty much. So, Kelly, what do you know about Zarya? I don't know much. I just know what I read online, so I don't know much about her.
I don't either. So I had quite a bit of frame of reference for both Julia and and Stephanie Becerra.
We'll get to it in a
So
minute. I'm excited to talk about them. We'll talk about them. In a
yeah,
few.
so I'd seen plenty of them. But Delta was somebody whose name I only knew on the page, and even then, only fleetingly. I did not know what she looked like. I did not know what to expect. Yeah, I mean, she's got the look for days. So the only thing I worry about is where is the seat at the table in the NXT women's division, because all of a sudden it got really good again.
I agree.
And where is she gonna slot in? I think as a heel, since both Julia and Vicaire are faces, but I'm not sure Vicaire is gonna be a face for the long haul. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an early split there, but if not, then I gotta say Zarya is almost certainly going to be a heel.
Yeah, I don't see how that character isn't. Just by the facial, just by the videos that are playing for her and everything else. I mean, it was heel to me.
The thing I heard about is she was like the top female wrestler from Australia.
Yeah.
And they're kind of comparing her to Rhea Ripley in some sense.
No, Rhea's excited. Rhea actually promoted her during NXT. So that's pretty
right. Cool. So, I mean, I think there's a friendship there between the two. And I think she's anxious to see her get her feet wet in NXT.
Well, even if there isn't, I think she's just happy to see a countryman get a big push like this.
Right.
And I mean, at the end of the day, you know?
I mean, this is, to be honest, looks like she's bigger than Raquel Rodriguez. And I think she's got that demeanor and that muscle behind it to kind of push her to be this kind of big, bad, monstrous type of person.
I'm looking forward to it. Kelly, do you expect, we'll just jump right to Halloween Havoc then. Do you expect to see Zarya at Halloween Havoc?
Yes. I don't think they introduced her for nothing. And I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the tag match, I think whoever is going to get the next title shot is going to pin Roxy. And I'm going to go with Stephanie because she hasn't had one yet.
Perfect.
But then maybe Zarya shows up and destroys everyone. Okay. That's what I'm going with for now. That's very, very basic booking stuff. But that's where I expect to see her, unless they feel like that championship is too crowded and they have her defeat Kalani Jordan in the case that, or beat down Kalani Jordan in the case that Kalani actually defends her title.
Perfect. I'm going to actually take that as my segue to go to that match. We have the NXT Women's North America Championship. It is a spinner's choice match. They spun the wheel on NXT. We didn't know because when Zarya debuted. So we actually don't know what the actual stipulation of this match is. And it's Kalani Jordan versus either Fallon Henley, JC Jane, or Jasmine Nix. Yeah, that's the thing. Fatal Influence is the name of the trio, by the way. So that's what this is going on. That's why we don't know who's facing because they're going to tell us on Saturday, on Sunday.
The Fatal Influence, Fatal Attraction, not much difference.
Except I actually really love Fallon Henley, so I really can't complain. I just love when she just comes out and just says yeehaw bit for no reason whatsoever. It makes me laugh every time. But, Sal, who's half paying attention, do you know anything about anything women in this match?
Nope.
Cool. Perfect. Kelly, to you. I love it. Look at the people that he actually knows a little while, but I don't know the
Hey, she's honest.
Oh,
I know everything about all three of them. So
all four of them. Really, Kalani. With Kalani in there as well.
But yes, I really like Fallon and Jasmine. JC, I guess, is growing on me. If they want the best match out of this, it should be Fallon, although Jasmine is getting closer all the time. I think NXT likes JC more than she's worth, maybe, but she's getting there. I don't know.
Always one.
I think that whatever they choose is going to backfire on them. I think that Kalani I was ready to say that no matter who it is in the match, they're going to take the championship. But I'm actually going with my Zarya prediction. I think Kalani escapes with the championship, but then Zarya makes herself known. I think this is where it happens.
That's where I was leading to. I was thinking title change until Zarya debuted at the end of the show. And I'm like, okay, I guess it's in the mid card, which because the event scene is so full when it comes to women. So something's got to be in the mid card. So I expect her to beat Kalani probably the next time they have a title match. And did they announce that December PLE yet? The one that has the Matt Toby confusing Sal?
No, I don't think so.
One that like the deadline hate review that had the PLE that has that confusing match that always confusing Sal.
Oh, that thing is great.
I love it.
That one.
I love the Iron Survivor match. It's one of my favorite matches of the year. It confuses Sal every time. It confuses every year we do it.
It's last year was the one where they had Trick Williams win with like 4 weak roll-ups. It was such a weak victory. I was like, he just literally got weak roll-ups on everybody. He ended up looking the worst out of everyone, even though he was the winner. But all the others have been very good.
Exactly. Yeah. What do you think about this match? We have a title change. Is Zarya going to be involved afterwards? We have a finish if Zarya involves herself. I forgot to ask. What do you think the stipulation is going to be?
Hard to say. I don't know what the stipulation is. I guess we'll find out eventually before the match.
Smart. They make it like a 3-on-1 match or something because they're smart. You know what I mean?
You can make it like a triple threat or a 4-way.
A 3-on-1. You make it a 3-on-1, and then whoever in that group wants to pin Kalani, that's who's winning the championship.
A 4 corners match or something? I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, a 3-on-1 match.
I know.
Not a 4 corners, not a fatal 4-way, a 3-on-1 handicap match for the title. That's what I'm saying.
So,
and I thought of that too, because I think that the women would fight each other to get the pin, and then that's how they lose.
Like, I'm misleading for it that way. That's all. Explain it.
I look at it that I think, Kalani's going to retain, but in the premise of her retaining, maybe Zarya kind of puts her nose in to save Kalani, but the only way she wants to save Kalani is she wants to basically go against Kalani.
Oh yeah, I expect the Kalani Zarya match to happen.
Here's the thing NXT should not do. Do not make her a bodyguard for anyone else.
Oh, no, hell no.
Let her have her own storyline. Let her have her own, character. Let her have her own gimmick and present her that way. Very strong.
So I just want to say hi to people that are watching the show. I see people popping up here, viewing. So if you want to comment on the show, pop it up here. I'll pop it up on the screen. All right. Let's move on to a match that I know Sal's gonna be like, really, this is happening? We have an ambulance match. It is Andre Chase versus Ridge Holland, because Ridge Holland took out Andre Chase and made him go to the hospital, apparently, and that's why we're here. Andre Chase is defending the university like you do. By the way, I love the fact that on NXT on CW this week, they re-explained the entire university storyline in a matter of like a 2-minute video package, which I absolutely loved that. Like, that was great. Ridge Holland has been destroying everybody, so Andre Chase is coming out to defend. We haven't seen an ambulance match in a long time. Like, I don't remember the last ambulance match. I just don't remember it. I was been a long time since had an ambulance match. Sal, Sal, your head popped up when I said ambulance match. Thoughts?
Well, I would like to just begin by saying anyone that's going to be in a match with Ridge Holland needs to have an ambulance nearby.
Oh, you're not wrong.
Yep. I mean, I would want to believe that this should be something that Andre should be winning because he needs it more.
And the storyline kind of leads to him winning. You know what I mean? Kind of leads to it. Kelly, what do you think?
Am I back?
Yeah, you.
My internet just blipped. Okay.
You're good. You're good. You never went away for us, so you're good.
Okay. Everything went away for me, including my phone. Everything started.
Weird.
I think Probably Poltergeist.
Podcast people. There you go. So what's up this match?
Yeah, this one is, they've done a lot of work on this storyline, but it's just like week to week, I'm not thinking about this story. Like, truth be told, the one segment they had with Axiom and Fraser dealing with, that's great. The one segment they had with Axiom and Fraser jawing with Cedric Alexander and Javon Evans actually made me wish that we had that match instead, but I'm a sucker for an occasional ambulance match. I just thought it was funny that Andre asked for an ambulance match, and then 40 minutes later, Ridge cut a promo from inside an ambulance. So luckily, he's got a friend who's got an ambulance that he can just use anytime because that was real quick to get that ambulance. I think Andre is a pretty good wrestler, but looks so goofy in his gear that you just forget that. He really is quite good. So this could be okay. And Ridge is, if he's just walking and brawling, that's kind of what he should probably be doing.
Don't throw him behind his head. That's all I got to say. Don't throw him behind.
Yeah, it was. I know Big E doesn't blame him, but God, I wish it had not happened.
Everyone else does, so.
He should. Big E's basically a good person. That's all it is. Big E's basically a good person. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to see it again because a lot of that is typically on the person, but it's just it's hard when he's injured a couple guys, and he got injured himself really badly once on the night that was supposed to be the beginning of his biggest push, tore a quad. So yeah, it's I don't know if I'm excited for this or not because they're so because it's an ambulance match and I want to be, but it's this match. I'm hoping Andre wins, but I'm honestly not holding my breath because it just seems like they want to make Ridge Holland happen.
For some reason, but I don't actually know why. You shouldn't hold your breath anyway. It's a Ridge Holland match. You shouldn't do that. Dad, what do you think?
Well, my whole thing on this is it's going to be a different spin. Is I want Andre to win in the ambulance match, but I have an inkling you're going to see Duke Hudson pop up to help Andre win and slam the door on Ridge Holland and wave bye-bye to the ambulance.
Like, okay.
Okay.
I mean,
I thought when you brought up Duke, you were going to talk about like a double cross.
No,
because they're always like surfing around the edges of double crosses with Chase U.
No,
maybe this is where Bodie Hayward finally comes back.
God, I haven't heard that.
There you go.
There's a name I haven't heard.
There it is. There it is. Maybe Bodie's driving the ambulance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to kind of put an end to the Ridge storyline, that would be the way to do it. If that's what you want.
Wow. Sorry, Bodie Hayward. I didn't expect to hear that name today. I did not expect to hear that name. All right.
I'm a little surprised that I remembered it.
Then again, earlier I'm shocked by my memory sometimes. Earlier today, there was a meme on Instagram. It was a picture of Miz and Uncle Howdy from Monday in comparison to the Miz and Bo Dallas back in the day. And I literally had a conversation with a friend of mine. Was that the Miz Taraj or is that the B team? And I looked at it like, why do I remember that? Like, why don't I remember that at all?
The B team?
The B team and the Miz Taraj. Like, why?
Don't you remember them wearing their T-shirts?
I remember I was obsessed with the theme song on this show for a little while. Like, we were obsessed with the theme song.
Yeah, they were proud wearing their T-shirts with the B team on it.
But like, I don't know why I remember that. But anyway, trust me, Kelly, I have weird moments like that. Where like, why the hell do I remember that at all? I have no idea. So anyway, let's move on. We have a table of ladders and scares match. Oh
my!
I started that coming. NXT North American Championship, and it's Tony D'Angelo taking on Obafemi. I'm not gonna lie, I did not actually expect him to have Tony beat Obafemi on the second episode of NXT NCW, even though I should have expected it. I should have expected it, but I didn't. I thought they were going to do the whole Rocky storyline and then have him lose and pick him actually win. So that was a surprise to me, because I'm happy to see it. But I feel like this match is only happening because they're not ready to push Obafemi from the main event yet, because they wanted to do a different match. Then we'll get to the main event in a few minutes. So they're just redoing this match here. Kelly, do you know if this is an actual ladder match? Because I went on Wikipedia and it said there's only pinfalls. But didn't we do this last time and it was actually a ladder match?
I thought the last time was a ladder match, but maybe it's not. Because if it's not a ladder match, then it's just another street fight, which we've already got.
Exactly. I'm kind of hoping it's a ladder match and Wikipedia is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think this is a ladder match. And I think this exists because you can't not have Obafemi on your show. You've got to put him on the show and have him seen by as many people as possible right now. I mean, they told the story and they finished it. I thought I definitely thought that Tony was winning. I thought that if he didn't win, then this would completely neuter him. And I wouldn't have cared if they had neutered Tony, because he's not all that. But I definitely thought that they were neutering. We're not neutering him here. Somebody loves him there because he's been in NXT for like 4 years now. But yeah, I mean, Oba should win this outside of great amounts of outside interference, but they're trying to make Oba a heel, which is not really, like, the audience isn't taking to it because he's just too cool to be a heel.
You're not
like
wrong.
he's doing his part.
Yeah.
He's trying to be a heel. It's just really hard for that to actually work. I absolutely love him, and it'll be very annoying to me when he does not win this match, but I think that this is the match to complete the series, and Oba's got no business being in a secondary championship picture anymore. He's got to go for the big one.
So Sal, the funny part is on NXT this week, the Obafemi literally destroyed had destroyed everyone in Tony Angelo's family. Tony Angelo is literally like tied to the ring post, watching his guys get beat up, and the crowd is cheering for Obafemi. It was crazy to watch. Go figure. But I'm kind of leaning for this having D'Angelo retain here, especially if this is a ladder match and Obafemi's not going to get pinned again. And that's why you do this match, and then have Obafemi move on to the main event scene. Sal, you're agreeing with me?
Yeah.
Sal,
I think.
hang on, Sal. You were shaking his head. He was shaking his head. I'm going in first.
No, I agree.
Okay, go ahead, Dad.
Yeah, I don't see a title change. I see Tony retaining because I think this type of match is kind of in his wheelhouse, which gives incentive for Oba to basically challenge Trick Williams for the main belt. Because if you look at it, what is it that he's missing? He's missing that big belt. And once he gets it, then it's not going to be too far in the future that I think you're going to see Trick Williams be called up to the main roster.
We'll get the Trick in a few minutes. Before we get the Trick, before we get to the main event, we mentioned them earlier. We have this this tag team match, which, goddamn, this is going to be crazy. It is Julia. It is Stephanie Bakir versus the NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez and the new boobs and all, Cora Jade.
Excuse me?
That's not even a joke at all. That wasn't even a joke.
Okay.
This is as simple as Julia and Stephanie wins. It's just who pins Roxanne. And Kelly, you're thinking it's Stephanie. So, guy, back to you.
Yeah, I think that it'll be Stephanie just because she hasn't gotten the shot yet. They, if they're not going to move the championship right away, then you definitely can't have Julia get beat twice or fail to get the championship twice anyway, unless Julia wins and then she's screwed out of the second match by Zarya, which you could do if you don't want to debut her in. I mean, there's so many. it's so versatile right now. They got so much talent. I mean, the problem is where to put it, and that's a great problem to have. They're just so stacked right now. But yeah, it's. I'm hoping Cora looks good in whatever they have her do. She's been gone for a long time. That injury was pretty significant. But I like the dynamic that those two nasty girls have. And it's kind of a weird dynamic between these two, because it's the small ones are the heels and but they're still the big talkers. But the dominance is all on the babyface teams. So it'll definitely be a hook and by crook kind of match, but I expect the faces to win this.
So during that, Kelly, I literally I forwarded a picture on Instagram of Corey Jade to Sal. Sal, your reaction? I want an audio reaction for the audio people.
What? I had a partial clutch my pearls moment. Sheesh.
I'm down your thoughts. What a Corey's boot in this match.
I still don't like her though.
Okay. This is going to be an interesting tag match. The way the dynamics set up. I do not see Roxanne and Cora winning on this one. I see, like you were talking about, I see Stephanie pinning Cora Jade and winning, and you'll see Cesaro make an appearance somehow. But always keep in the back of your mind that Cora can always turn on Roxanne. And
I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening.
I do, only because here's the thing. She's back.
She's way too good to heel. Cora's way too good to heel.
But here's the thing. She's back and she wants something, and that something is what
you already got it. You already paid for them.
Because with
I wouldn't have been able to lay off all of this stuff like 10 years ago. I would have been just it would have been just stream of
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been able to do this. It's been a while. And I've been sitting on these for a while because you're not on the show. Just been covered.
But wait.
It's
There's always the Brian's entrance. It's Kelly's favorite wrestler, Nikita Lyons.
How dare you, sir?
How and not saying her name earlier during the WWE I was being a nice person.
See, the reason for me to get surly on this one would be the fact that she just came back. That is the reason. And I knew if it came up.
Yeah.
Oh man, she's just she's doing a lot of the little things a little better now that she's back, but she can't move because her knees are destroyed. So she's going in and her moves actually look better because she has to take time, but it's only because her knees are destroyed. They're broken. They're done. She's
so are we giving how much time she lasts until she goes out with injury and it becomes permanent? Where
so nice. I really did.
I don't want, I don't wish that insane injury on anybody, but I don't think at this point, if that's as fast as she can work, if that matches what she's capable of now, then what the hell is she good for? I mean, I honestly don't know why you roster her at this point. Hey, who wrote that?
I can honestly say it wasn't me.
The quote crawl does not lie.
No, I won't be mad if she's gone, but I'm not cheering for anybody to get hurt. But this last time, after I saw that match, I thought
I'll cheer for you.
Honestly, I legit thought she's not going to make the main roster. Her body's not going to hold up. Now it's a ticker.
Is it more comparable to Nia Jax type of situation?
What about Nia Jax?
I think he was comparing the Kilo line to Nia Jax.
Yeah, as far as the situation with injury and knees and things like that, would that be kind of
I don't know the nature of the injuries. I mean, the nature of them both being fairly sloppy, but Nia being 1,000 times less so is, I guess that's a connection. But who will get hurt next? I mean, Lions, I think she's put together with like paper mache at this point. I think that's what she's made of. It's got to be her. And Nia's working, like Nia's feuding with people who really know how to work safely. And Nikita doesn't know how, and she's working with people who are green.
Oh my god! All right. Sound knows I'm really fast typer, so I have fun with the stuff on the bottom. Really do fun. Anyway, let's move on to our main event. It is the NXT Championship in a Devil Playground match, whatever the hell that means.
Yay.
Rick Williams defending against all usual Ethan Page. And by the way, as much as everyone loves Trick's music, Christian hates Ethan Page's music. He hates it with a passion. He comes out and like, I hate the music. He'll walk out of the room. He hates it so much. So, I gotta give credit where it's due though. I love the promo battle on Tuesday because Ethan Page was great and Trick was so confident. Like I really loved their promos on Tuesday, but I think it's just here because they wanted to do a rematch and Trick's gonna retain. But Kelly, what the hell the Devil Playground match?
It's a street fight. Yeah. This I think is the third one, and I want to say it's just a street fight, but they give it different branding because Halloween Havoc. Why not?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I think that's what's going to do. Yeah, Ego's theme song is actually one of the memorable ones, and it's because it's annoying. That I think is a good thing for him. That's what he's supposed to bring to the table. I really liked their segment, but basically you could have done the same segment if Trick wasn't there because he didn't say much. It seems like they just wanted Ego to have a long promo segment, and then they were like, oh God, we accidentally didn't book Trick on the show. We should probably have him out there to say a few things in response, because he did maybe 8 to 10% of the talking on this thing. I think Trick retains, but I dare say that promo by Ethan Page almost made him the sympathetic babyface in the storyline because he's talking about his 17 years working toward this. And Trick didn't say any of the wrong things himself, but it was all in the framing that Ethan had, that Trick was essentially entitled and he was chosen and he's being groomed backstage to be the top guy and everything like that, which is, we talked about whether that's too meta a line to use, or if you can get away with saying, well, people just recognize he's going to be a champion, so they're trying to teach him how. It's I'm excited so much about the women's matches on this show, and this one just feels like something they have to get out of the way to get to get Trick to the next thing. I got more where that came from. I'm going to mute.
Fair enough. Dad, what do you think?
Yeah, in Ethan's promo, he mentioned weapons abound, so there'll be plunder under the ring, in the ring,
Plunder
all over the place.
Plunger?
Plunder. I'm the person who's not the pirate right now.
Maybe there will be a plunger.
Not a plunger, a plunder.
Plunder. Wow. But yeah, I see maybe a pair of handcuffs come out and Trick gets handcuffed to the ropes and Ethan just wails on him, and somehow, and here's the thing, Obafemi comes out and breaks the handcuffs and Trick wins, which sets up the Trick Obafemi match.
That doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but
well, sometimes in NXT things don't make sense.
It's Shawn Michaels writing things. It's pretty simple sometimes. It really is. It really is simple at times. So what do you think? Before I know what I was going to say.
Yeah, I don't think he just won it back. fairly recently. I don't think they're going to take it off of him again.
Yeah, the first show on the CW. First show.
Yeah. So. There's
yeah, I Trick's winning. Trick's retaining. I don't know what you do with Ethan Page after this though, because he was pushed right to the main event. So I don't know what to do there, but I do expect them to move on to Obafemi in the future. Maybe after deadline, maybe something like that. I don't know what the plan. I don't know if the deadline deal is happening. That's why and I'm questioning it. But I kind of expect Obafemi to be the champion to start 2025. So like, well, to keep the title, so Obafemi can beat him.
I was going to say, what if Ethan wins and that sets up a match between him and Obafemi?
But as Kelly said, according to the storylines, even though the crowd doesn't agree, Obafemi's a heel. That's the problem with that.
No, but I'm saying if you have him go against ego,
no, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I'm not arguing with you.
Right.
I'm going with the logic of the show that Kelly brought up earlier. You know what I mean? Like, according to Shawn Michaels, the booker,
I think
Obafemi's a heel. Obafemi's a heel. So if he's going to have to win the title, it's going to be against the face with his trick.
I think at some point he throws up his hands and says, "Okay, Oba is a face. I tried, but I couldn't make people turn on him."
But yeah, I will say wait till after the title change for that. I almost feel like you wait till then. You know what I mean? So that's what I would do. But we'll talk about that in the future. You know. So that is Halloween Havoc, and so that is our PLE, and I believe that's going to be our show. Let me get off the screen. There we go. Get off the screen. So that is that. So let's wrap things up here because that kind of spoiled how I wanted to end the show today with Mr. Stevie Wonder over there. But we will be closing a little Stevie Wonder because this guy has been literally walking around like a fucking blind man all week, even though he only has one eye not working.
Hey, remember, I got my eye on you.
Oh, Jesus
Do you though? Do you?
No, trust me, I've had to drive him around all week. I just called to say I love you, but he wondered.
Can I help it? My future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
Don't get me started. You're wearing.
Oh no!
Oh my god! This is yes. The puns are bad, people. The puns are bad. But now, why don't you do your thing?
For more information on our show, including where you can find us on social media or watch the show on YouTube, go to theblakeandsalshow.com, or apparently this new QR code thing. That's new. Ooh, that's new. So please don't forget, comment or leave a rating and review, and we will read it on the show.
And I do have a negative review we're going to get to on another future show. I'm not doing
it today. Yay!
We'll get to it in a future show. We're not doing it today. We don't have enough time. So let's go to Kelly to get his plugs in now.
I'm Kelly Wells, your guaranteed ranter. One-time ranter. I'm all over the torch. I'm hanging with Wade on post shows. I'm doing NXT Modern, NXT 8 years back, and the 7-Star podcast when New Japan requires stuff to be talked about. So there we go. Exciting time in New Japan right now. And I think Sean is really finding his footing in NXT of late. Been very storytelling's been very I don't know. There's a word and it's not coming to me, and I'm gonna fizzle out here.
Fair enough. Dad, why don't you see your shade?
I just realized it says shades with an extra quotation mark.
I didn't do that. On the record, I didn't do that.
Hey guys, if you happen to have a local independent wrestling organization where you live, please go patronize these people. These are the young men and women
with 2 eyes
who are coming up in the world of professional wrestling, sports entertainment, that want to entertain you for 2 hours and take away your troubles by showing you their character, their gimmicks, their moveset, the whole kit and caboodle, so they can reach for that brass ring in a major wrestling organization. And always have a good time.
I really would fun with this soundboard. I really do.
Arr.
All right.
Our matey. Welcome to Plank.
Next week, Sal is not going to be here. He is taking a week off for personal reasons that I'm not going to get into on the show. But he's taking a week off for personal reasons.
Going trick-or-treating, I told you already.
I know, but the actual reason you're not going to be here. I'm not going to get
That's all they need to know. I'm going trick-or-treating.
Well, anyway, next week it's going to be me, Mark, and Christian on a special show that I'm planning for a Halloween show. So join us next week for that. We're going to have a lot of fun next week. I haven't told the two of them when I'm up here. That's the best part. They have no idea what they're up to next week. So it's going to be fun.
That's the scary part. Ooh, scary.
Thank you, Kelly, as always, for coming on. Greatly appreciate it.
Cheers. Thanks for having me, buddy.
No problem. And thank you all for watching us live, and thank you all for listening to the show. Till next week, I'm Blake.
I'm Sal.
I'm Shades.
You're listening to the Blake and Sal and Shade show, apparently. Have a good day, everybody.
Enjoy and safe trick-or-treating.
Okay. See ya.
Just say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I do. I just called to say I love you. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Of my heart. Baby, my heart.
Thank you so very much. Goodbye. Mwah, and good night.
Bye-bye, bitch.